Hello everybody, this is Lee Phillips' Journey of Truth. It is Monday, April the 21st. It is 10 after 11 in the morning, and they have started taking down some of the trees on the site of the new library in downtown Loganville. So what it looks like they've been doing is using the excavator to push them over and uproot them, and then the guys are sawing them up with the chainsaws, and they're moving stuff around with the bobcat. That's what it appears to be happening. So we're going to take a look for a little bit. Now right here they have the little retention pond I showed in one of my earlier videos, but they didn't have it all the way complete. And so now you can see they've got it complete and ready for rain. And I have named this location the Goldfish Pond. And so that's what I'll be calling this, is the Goldfish Pond. And they really got it nice right here where the water leaves the area. They've got the silt fence to keep the small debris from washing through, but the water will come through and run through the French drain rocks right there, and then it'll spill way into the drain system right here. And this is only for while construction is going on. It'll look different in the final project, but this right here is just for construction purposes only. If they have a permanent feature, it will be something incorporated right there at the end, but I don't think this whole pond will stay as a permanent thing. I think it'll be changed. So they took down some trees up this fence line here so they could get the fence in last week, and now they're doing some cleanup on those also, along with the other trees that they're taking down. I don't know when they're going to get to the big trees. More than likely it'll happen when I have to take Mama to the grocery store today. That's kind of how things always work out. I was busy a while ago spraying for some ants, and you know, when you spraying for ants, once you start, you got to keep on going, because they immediately send that signal out and they know you're coming, and you can't give them a chance to hide. And they made this driveway right here. I'm guessing this is going to be to bring delivery trucks in eventually between the other drive that's on the other side of that hill and right here. I saw some squirrels running a while ago when I first came up, running from this way over towards the town green. They're trying to get away because they know their homes are being destroyed. But yeah, I like this little goldfish pond down here. It's going to be interesting when we get a rain. If we get a rain. I don't think we're going to get one anytime soon. Not enough rain to put any water in this, but I'd love to see us get enough rain so that I can come down here and do a video of the water and how the water is going to run all the way through. Nothing happening at the retention pond today. They're probably going to quit working until I go away with the camera. You see they left their chainsaws laying on the ground. The guy on the bobcat quit working. That one guy up there sharpening, looks like he's sharpening his blade on his chainsaw. So they got the excavator over here. That's what they were waiting on probably, is for him to get over here to get some of the stuff cleared away from the trunk. I feel like I'm bouncing the camera a little bit too much today. I'm wearing flip-flops instead of my boots. I guess that's the easy way to trim up a trunk. Just use the excavator. That edge on that bucket, that thing can be like a knife cutting through the wood. And the force of the hydraulics, the tree can't withstand the hydraulics. Clean as you go. That's the way you do it. Doesn't matter what you're doing. I use that same rule even when I'm cooking. Clean as you go. The only thing I have to wash whenever I get done cooking and eating is the plates and the silverware that I'm eating with. Clean as you go. Makes for a better, safe environment. I try and get a better spot down here, and I got more of the fence in my way. Now see, them folks didn't get upset about the camera. They did what folks used to always do. Smile and wave for the camera. There's too many folks out there nowadays get too upset about a camera. It ain't the ones that you see that you should be worried about. It's the ones that you don't see. I can't remember if I saw marks on the other side of these two trees for removal or not, but in actuality, they need to go because that one has a old broke limb spot right there, and you can see that the trunk is rotted on the inside all the way down. That's what that line going down the trunk is. That's from water rotting out the inside out to the out. And the other one has a main limb over there that has been rotted out in the middle, and that's going to transition all the way down to the trunk. So that's actually going to make those trees unsafe because of the internal rot. There used to be a house that sat right here where this driveway is right here. Right here where this driveway is, you see that pole that's standing right there. There was a house that sat right to the right of the pole. The left front corner of the house used to be just right close to that pole. And it was tore down many years ago. It was in bad shape. It was one of the older homes left from the construction from the original town. Kind of built like ours is, but not of the big heavy timbers. it came right after ours when they reduced the size of lumber and started changing things. So, but close to the time period, early 1900s, but it had to go. And there used to be a brick house that sat right there where the dirt pile is. The driveway went around the left side and around the back, and I think I might have some old videos. Look back and check out some of my older videos, and you might see this area on there when the old house was right here. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I got a lot of folks watching. Not everybody subscribes, so hit that subscribe button. Show me some love and some support. I do this just so y'all can have information about what's going on in the downtown area, whether it be construction or traffic or events, whatever I can get to. I like to get it out there for everybody, because there's a lot of people that don't live in Loganville anymore that see my videos and they're like, oh wow. And so it helps bring back good memories for them of our town when they lived here. And so it also preserves in video form and documents in a historical record what our town is going through with the changes and growth and the want of the citizens to try to stay as looking old. No one's opposed to growth, but they want our town to have continue that old look feeling. And so you can have new construction, but to make the people happy, you need to have your facade look old. I'll just put it out there like that. You can get more support if you made that one thing. Just make the town stay looking like that it's old. Although I love big trees, I understand as they get bigger and older, they become more hazardous. And it might be that these trees have reached the point that they are a liability for the public, because if a limb fell because it was rotted and hit someone and hurt them, then the city would be liable and the taxpayers would have to flip the bill. I know there was a big to-do about the big tree that was down on the lot at the retention pond down the street down there, and I can tell you I did end up with one of the base cut pieces from the trunk of that big tree, and almost 50% of the center of that tree was discolored and dead, and already it's going through the process of rotting out. I'm trying to get it dried out and cured out to the point to where that I can save it and get it encapsulated in a coating that will preserve it, and maybe one day we can get it put on display or something somewhere, and if nowhere else, maybe I'll try and put it on display at the house and in the front or something. I don't know. But anyhow, we can count the rings on it and see exactly how old it was, but it needed to come down. So, you know, we can do things right. If the investigation of a tree turns out that it's a hazard and nearing detrimental rot, then I would agree that tree needs to come down. And these two right here, I can definitely say need to come down. The little one, it has rot up in the top of it also, and that rot will continue down the inside of the tree, making the tree weaker. And so we don't want nobody hurt from bad trees. But like I said, I do love trees, but there comes a point in time when safety has to come first. And so even though I don't like the location that they're putting the building up on and what they're having to do, I agree that the trees are a hazard and need to be dealt with. So trying to get a different vantage point here. A little bit difficult for me to figure out my vantage point. I mean, I could raise my camera holder up to where it's up higher, but then you wouldn't be able to hear me talking. And so if I don't talk, you're gonna get really bored, because my videos seem to be a little bit long and I don't do any editing, because then you miss something. You might miss my conversation, or you might miss something that they did that you might have wished you'd have seen. If I take it out through editing, you can't go back, but if I leave it in, you can always fast forward and rewind. Life happens as it happens. And I'm gonna bet they're probably gonna take lunch when he gets this cleaned up. Well, they might be going to get that one up yonder next. And that would be the mailman running up on Pecan Street and Mama's dog barking. All right. We might be fixing to see him take that tree down. All right, maybe this is a better spot. All right, here he goes. She's bending. She's bending. There she comes. Alright, we got to get across the street right here. Just in time, we got some heavy machinery coming in here. We got this big truck with a load right here. He's gonna have to see what he's gonna have to do to get turned in. This will be interesting. I don't know if they got enough room on this drive for big trucks to come turning in. Here's a better look at the excavator. So folks, this is just a small look at what it's going to be like when construction starts going on. If we got big trucks rolling in and out of here during rush hour time of day, it's going to be a nightmare. That was close. He had about 2 inches of clearance on his bottom beam. He's making pretty quick work of that little tree. So this orange machine y'all see on the back right here, that is what is used for repacking backfilled dirt, which is that pile over there. When they put that dirt in place, they have to run that machine over it to recompact the dirt, because when it's dug up, it's loosened up and the grains of sand are separated. And to have a solid base, you got to compact those grains back together, and you do that with that machine right there that's got them rollers on it. Got that big roller in the front right there. couldn't tell you the technical name of it, but I'm sure there's somebody out there. You can leave it in the comments. Me, I just call it a ground packer. A rolling ground packer. Different than a steamroller for asphalt, because this has the nodules all over the drum so that it can compact the dirt better. A steamroller for asphalt has a slick drum so that you get a nice surface on the road. I thought I was just going to be able to do a little bit more on the excavator and the tree. I didn't know this truck was fixing to roll in here, but when you got to shake the dust off your foot. I think he had a little limb stuck in his track. He used his arm to raise up to one side and spin his track and get the limb out from being hung. Now, if they keep going with these other trees and all, I'm just going to have to stick around. And Mama's going to have to wait on going to the grocery store. I was just fixing to do a brunch breakfast because all I had this morning was a bagel with some grape jelly. And half a bagel with some grape jelly. And I was fixing to go back and fix me some breakfast, but now, I don't know, they keep tearing down these other trees, and I have to stay till the end. I might not get no lunch. Surely these guys are gonna take a lunch though. I'll have to run back, scramble me up a couple of eggs and throw me a couple of slices of fatback, or what some folks call salt pork, in the microwave, get them crispy. I like my salt pork crispy. Loganville debris truck riding by with a full load of wood debris on it. Looks like we got the city of Loganville. Is that fire marshal? Not quite sure, can't read the emblem. Yes, it is. Got the truck disconnecting from his trailer over there. They're gonna drive that equipment right off of there. So we got the mini excavator with the little grappling hook. That's going to come in handy on those tree trunks. They'll be able to grab a hold of them and cut them without having to worry about the weight shifting on the trunk. All right, the excavator, he's going on down, back down this way. He's taking out another one down here. Sorry folks, I'm holding my camera up high. All right, we're gonna scoot back across right here. All right. They got that big orange piece of equipment off the trailer up there now. City of Loganville fire rescue guy riding back by again. It looks like they have an attachment for a grapple hook on that excavator. If they wanted to put one on there. So I know this is probably boring to a lot of folks out there, but there are some folks out there that just like to watch machinery operating. I'm kind of one of those folks, but moreover, I don't want to miss nothing. When all these are gone, they're gone. That's 100 years of history wiped out. Each one of these trees has a story to tell with the growth of the tree. Limbs grow in different fashions because of different reasons. A lot of time what you see above ground is mirrored underground. So they might be fixing to take lunch. And they're fixing to back this truck out of the drive up here. And there you hear those constant chimes at the church right there. So this is what's going to happen to Main Street every time a truck has to go in and out of there. They're going to be shutting down Main Street. They're going to have to get this figured out really quick on how they're going to get these big trucks in and out of here throughout the whole project. And he rolls on out of here. Alright, so I think those guys are going to go to lunch, and I need to take a break here and go and get a couple of things done. And then we'll come back and make another video. And hopefully in the time I'm at the house, they won't get rid of all these trees. So folks, y'all remember, subscribe, hit that like button, and ring that bell. And above all, be safe out there. Be good to one another. Do something kind for someone. And y'all have a blessed day.